Hi everyone, my name is Latasha Johnson, and today I'm excited to talk about something that sits at the heart of great teaching: recognizing and leveraging the culture and linguistic assets our learners bring into the classroom. When we shift from a deficit mindset to an asset-based approach, we stop asking, what do students lack? And start asking, what strengths do they already have that we can build on? That shift changes everything. One belief that guides my work is that children are born how and where they are born, but as educators, we have chosen to care for children and teach them no matter the issues that may arise. Every student walks into our classroom with a story, a culture, a language, and a lived experience that deserves respect. And because of that, one of my guiding principles has always been to meet children where they are. When we do that, we honor their humanity and create space for them to thrive. Culture influences how students learn, communicate, interact with adults, and even how they show what they know. As teachers, cultural competence means understanding these influences and using them to guide our instruction. It's not about knowing every detail of every culture. It's about being open, curious, and responsive. When we integrate students' culture, values, beliefs into our teaching, we're not just being inclusive, we're making learning more meaningful and accessible. Gay reminds us that culturally responsive teaching affirms students' identities and connect instructions to their lived experience, which increases engagement and academic success. Culture also plays a major role in how students acquire language. The school environment can either support or hinder that process. When students walk into a classroom where their language is visible, their culture is honored, and their identity is respected, their confidence grows, and so does their willingness to take risks with language. And I want to be clear about something that I believe deeply. Children should never be treated poorly because of a language barrier. If anything, we should want to help them more. That mindset alone can transform the way we support multilingual learners. Creating an inclusive environment means using multilingual labels, diverse literature, visuals, sentence frames, and structured opportunities for students to share about their families and backgrounds. It also means being intentional about classroom norms that promote safety, belonging, and collaboration. Supporting and celebrating cultural diversity within instruction can be simple and powerful. We can incorporate text from students' cultures, use cooperative learning structures that value different communication styles, and invite students to bring in artifacts or stories from home. Leveraging home language is another key strategy. Students' first language is not a barrier, it's a resource. Encouraging translanguaging using bilingual glossaries, pairing students strategically, and allowing students to brainstorm or draft in their home language all helps deepen understanding. Wright emphasizes that honoring students' linguistic assets strengthens both content learning and English development. When it comes to supporting the needs of ELs, responsiveness is essential. Every student has different strengths, needs, and identities, including students with disabilities or those who are newcomers. We can differentiate instruction through visuals, modeling, sentence starters, small group instruction, and scaffolding tasks. But we also have to support their social and emotional needs. Many ELs are navigating new environments, new expectations, and sometimes even trauma. Building relationships, checking in regularly, and creating predictable routines help students feel grounded and safe. Understanding students' social, emotional, and cultural needs is especially important when establishing classroom routines and procedures. When routines reflect respect for students' backgrounds and communication styles, students feel seen. When procedures are consistent and predictable, students feel secure. And when expectations are taught with patience and cultural awareness, students feel valued. Home and school connections are another essential part of an asset-based approach. Families bring what we call funds of knowledge, the skills, traditions, values, and experiences that shape students' learning. These family and community practices influence how students use language, how they interact socially, and how they approach school. When we honor these funds of knowledge, we strengthen the bridge between home and school. Building strong partnerships with families means communicating in ways that are accessible and respectful. That includes using translation tools, offering bilingual newsletters, hosting family nights, and inviting families to share their stories and cultural traditions. Effective family engagement highlights the assets of home language and empowers families to support learning at home. Community engagement can include partnerships with cultural organizations, local leaders, or community centers that serve multilingual families. At the end of the day, supporting English learners is about honoring who they are, culturally, linguistically, emotionally, and academically. When we create classrooms that celebrate diversity, build strong relationships, and partner with families, we're not just teaching content, we're building confidence, identity, and belonging. And that's a foundation every student deserves. So thank you for listening, and thank you for the work you do to support our multilingual learners. Bye.